That's how it's pretty much.
They found it though.
I didn't know I knew how to do fencing.
What kind of fencing?
I was a fencing football.
Was that before the job?
Right? No, I don't know about that. Some Martin's doing.
Oh, you found one of them.
Well, I was a fencing fool.
Used to be a cyclone system on.
Yeah.
There's still one around number 2, but all the other ones got destroyed due to
Weather and
trees. So the plan is that next year, the forest is gonna go finish their fencing, our fencing for us.
and there's nothing we can do anyway now. I think they cut off.
We can,
Okay.
we can still get up there, we just have to ask for a waiver,
Oh,
which they're well willing to give us, but the only other thing that we needed to do is we're gonna be in the parks aren't gonna be until 10th. We ship on the 10th, so and I don't want to be up there anyways, even if we have a waiver, be up there to work. When something goes out, start finding a phone. It's a little too close to home.
that'll work.
I'm surprised they didn't let you- Yeah.
Well, we were kind of fired enough to do it.
Yeah. I guess I do have one. Pretty similar.
Pretty similar.
Come to you.
Thank you.
I have the cooler and the used bottle for the just in my truck.
Don't touch him though, he's hot. He's coming close to that ceiling fan. He was sitting in by the door of the shop and I stepped out and I go, what's wrong, Carol? Is something wrong? He mad at somebody, put my hand on his shoulder, he goes.
I can stay down ever.
No, I said, yeah. I said, don't touch me.
So with that test result, did they tell us that there was nothing in it, or was there a trace amount of anything? Because Gabe asked me, he says, well, if there's nothing in our water, why are you? But that goes back to,
Because of broken line from the way down.
When I moved here, they never cleaned it.
dial down or did you dial up?
Well, I could put ice in my ice.
No, I increased the
You're right,
water.
that doesn't fit. No, I don't.
So we're,
That's about 69 to the reservoir, 69 or 77.
Because what part of that is because they want to know your base, what you're starting with. And then when it gets through our system also, that's an internal test out of the reservoir also. So then you have something compared to some very different. Right?
We gotta take those coliform tests. If there's, say, if you're working on something, you gotta do special tests to make sure nothing got into the system while you're working on it. They do one every month, and it's got to be chlorinated because there have been bad samples. And the state's getting more stricter on it, on what you have.
I did quick math when I got home, and 70 gallons a minute for thousand gallons of 24-hour food. So you should be in the council.
Like that at 69. We Florida and, so just under. Staying on.
Didn't know if you'll make it in time.
He emailed me. Appointment got pushed back, so Anthony will not be attending. Okay, we are gonna start our July 29th special meeting, calling it to order. Trying to get a roll call, starting Alex, and start us off with a roll call, please.
No, more than,
Jennifer Ferguson, City Council, Mitchell.
Teresa Riley, City Council, position. Heather Clark, City Council, Mitchell.
And River City Council.
Steve Tripp, Mayor. All right, I'd like to stand and do a pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Teresa, about a invitation, please.
Our brother, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much for the update for gathering for all of us here. Straight and some of the choices and stuff.
Changes to the agenda. I would like to add one change to the agenda. We did work on community development proposals. I would like to take some of these and get them approved so we can start getting some of the stuff done. Otherwise, we gotta wait until our next meeting to do any approval of it. So I think that'd be, if there's another change to the agenda, that we never change to our agenda. And we'll move that to after executive session, that there's nothing to do with charge. So with that, we need approval of our agenda as with the change to it.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the changes to the agenda. July 29th, city Mitchell special meetings. And, excuse me, that's
But
all four of them.
motion made by Ken, seconded by Glenn. Open for discussion. No discussion. Show us off the vote. Glenn, please.
Teresa Riley, aye.
Ken Ferguson, aye.
Motion passed, 4 ayes, 1 absent, 1 open. We will decide on Anthony's at our right now our scheduled meeting. He contacted prior to today. He did have a scheduled meeting. He thought he was going to be back in time. He's been in contact, so I don't see why we would not, or you guys are not considered in his absence. So we're at city vehicles. There is some concern, I do believe. Kathy, did you get that first?
Did we skip approval of minutes?
That's, I
Oh,
just.
sorry. Approval of minutes,
I mean,
June 5th. Kathy,
I make a motion to not approve the June 5, 2020 work session minutes because they are incomplete and incorrect.
2020 or 2022.
Wait a minute.
I second that. I
what-
was trying to think that.
Yeah, I got one more than this.
Yeah,
Motion made by Kathy, seconded by Teresa, open for discussion. What?
It's exactly what.
The community development meetings are highly incomplete. You guys discussed what was on here. Okay, you discussed the EMS building check, you discussed playground equipment, you discussed, all the other stuff that's not in these notes. These notes are incomplete.
Wasn't that ever just our last community development?
These are June 5 minutes.
Right.
Not the other day minutes.
Right.
But that stuff was discussed prior to this last meeting we had.
So do you have notes on what's missing?
No, I wasn't at the meeting. It's not my responsibility.
So how do you know that what's missing is missing?
Because when I came to the community meeting the other day, guys already discussed the EMS building shed. You already discussed playground equipment. You already discussed a lot of these items that were brought up at this last meeting. But they are not in the notes that's being discussed. That's, you know. Unless you discuss them somewhere else outside the meeting. But they're not included in the notes that you discussed, some of these topics that we discussed the last.
Oh.
Yeah.
When I have my, my chicken scratch here is, we haven't brought this up, so. What do you mean, like discussing, like, and that like you started to the thing,
The July 5th, 2020 work session meeting, 2022, I'm sorry. It says discussion of replacing feeders, heaters, and donating for free equipment. Gutters need before the next rainy season. You're telling me you did not discuss the MS building shed, you did not discuss playground. You didn't discuss the stuff that was highlighted at the last meeting. You're telling me on July 5th, you did not discuss the EMS building shed. You did not discuss playground. You did not discuss micrograms. You did not discuss street lights. You did not discuss it side by side. You did not discuss the city hall issues. You did not discuss tree. Tell me you did not discuss any of that at the July 5th meeting.
Fine.
I was at the July 5th meeting and we discussed all of these.
That was on the notes. That's what I said, it's incomplete. Community development meeting. You don't have all this stuff listed in. Incomplete. That's correct.
Yeah, I think what I correct the council is saying is, this is not minutes, this is an article. Memory, this is an article memory we're talking about, not the actual minutes that was saying. And that's what minutes are, minutes are.
I know what minutes are. thank
Right,
you.
so she shouldn't have to explain herself, this is pretty obvious.
Excuse me, I was asking her, not you. So she can speak for herself.
Right, and I'm probably comment saying, yeah, she's right.
Okay, first and foremost, during the meeting, we do not have to allow public comment.
You
So,
called my name, if you call my name, I'm gonna speak.
okay, stop.
I'm done.
Yeah,
Okay, I look at
so,
it.
Sue, if you have a comment, you need to raise your hand, you need to comment. Thank you. Kathy,
I can go back to the charter. If there is a meeting where we have to discuss or do anything that's kind of on the legal end, make a mo, like the charter or anything else. The public has to be at the meeting. If there's no public allowed or no public discussion, it's not legal for us to do any of this stuff.
public is allowed, but we do not have to open it to public comment. Via the city attorney, correct? Fine.
But once you do open public comment and you call for the thing, they have guidelines, and they have a period of time where they can speak.
Right, I'm just saying what information we received from the city attorney. So, I'm not saying we're not gonna allow public comment. I'm saying that if things get out of hand, we either shut the meeting down and don't function as a council, or we don't allow public comment. Alex,
All right, let's get back on track. The concern here is the minutes that are trying to be approved, there was a motion to not approve the minutes because the minutes are incorrect. Let's stay on focus.
would you like to run the meetings?
I I'm not gonna speak, but if you keep calling on me without saying my name.
Well, I know, but basically you're trying to run the meeting for me. So I know how the function of a meeting goes. I don't need you telling me how to run my
Well,
meeting.
looks a lot like smoking mirrors. You're trying to change the conversation into talking after you called my name twice.
Good stuff.
Council meeting? I just want clarification.
Yeah,
And I also want to make sure that we understand the minutes, how minutes legally work. It is not a word for word verbatim, it's to collect the, thank you, Alex, for attending. Yep, have a great day. Is to collect the atmosphere, the overall of the meeting on your basic topics.
the minutes do not have to go word for word. Basically, it's a rough compiling of the information put in 2 minutes. So understandably, yes, there probably is, as stated, things missing. So motion is made by Kathy, seconded by Terry to not approve the minutes. Any further discussion? No further discussion. Glenn, you want to start us off with a vote?
That River, I.
Adam Cook, aye.
Teresa Rowland, aye.
Karen Ferguson, no.
Motion passed, 3 ayes, 1 no to not accept our July 5th, 2022 work session minutes. Okay, moving on. Now we're to city vehicles as stated. I believe there was concern about a new rig. Yes, ma'am.
Would somebody like to provide their dictated?
I will provide you exactly what I have. That's
Okay. Continuing with the city vehicles. I believe what we need to discuss is the acquiring of city vehicles improperly. I know one counselor had questions, and I'll let you ask your questions and we'll move forward.
Yeah, my concern is how these vehicles being moved and came up with and having issues that need to be repaired and then no budgeting. Sure.
Yeah, I can explain everything.
Okay, so let me, so kind of should have all of so many questions. So I guess the first question is when did this stuff start happening?
All right, so I got notice from the county chief about the truck in Golden Down. Back, well, about 2 weeks before I went and got it. What, May? Sometime in May. And made a phone call and was offered the vehicle because it is in better shape than what we had, so I went ahead and accepted it. That's part of the fire chief's job to do that.
Let that go. Let that go.
Without one from council, nobody goes on from council to receive a vehicle in the past in the fire department brand, so.
Thank you. So.
I'll silent, don't worry about
Alex, as of right now, as a city council member, as we're speaking up here, I don't want to hear you now, okay? Because there is no public comment right now, because right now, the fire chief is explaining to me what's happening. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, so then a couple weeks later, we got another offer for a truck out of Windsor, and so I talked to the chief over there and we acquired that one. Both times they gave me paperwork to bring back with it, bill of sale, and I think one of them had a title, another one had a bill of sale and a title. anyway, so I brought people back and it took me about a week before I gave it, or 2 weeks before I gave it to the clerk, and I transferred it to the clerk. And then about 3 weeks ago, I got offered a week from the county, which is that black as we get there. Which they thought would be a good idea to give it to us for a commander. So, or for to go to training then. Or something. So when we're gonna take a fire truck out to go to training over someplace where we didn't have to have hands on water or pump. And so I'm gonna have to accept that, I'll have paperwork on that as soon as we get the bill.
And so, and my other questions is then, so when these vehicles are come up or whatnot, what's the maintenance protocol? Who goes to the vehicle? How do we, so how much money budgeted?
There's no, we don't pay anything for the vehicle I've got, I haven't paid a penny, but there was one truck that I got from you that did have a couple of leaks in it. And when you have a truck like that, that's 100 times better than anything we've ever had. I mean, it's rather cost you whatever. I mean, I didn't have a clue how much it cost because they don't tell you until they go look at it. So I didn't know how much it was going to cost until I went and looked at it. So I took it over this way to look at it. And then they fixed it while they were looking at it. So then they sent the city up. That's why it's always been done. When Grand Castle Bridge is cheap, that's the way when something needed to be done as far as a structure truck or something, it got fixed. It didn't matter about the $300 with the 2,000 spend, it gets fixed.
Right, and I respect that, absolutely. But as part of bringing in vehicles that none of us, because I am, and all of us are personally responsible for this stuff.
As well as I am.
Correct, so as a council, being personally responsible for these vehicles and whatnot, I think that one of those things, in the past, I'm not in the past, we're here. And so, I think that we should have something happen where we're all in a group with it, because because we have there's nothing budgeted, we have no idea how much money is going to be put into these to get them going. Well, then there's the insurance on top of it that has not been budgeted. And then the information that we know, and it should have been like nice in May to let us know, because then we would have been like.
I didn't let you know that we got trucks in May.
No, so then you knew before May that this was happening.
That we had a chance of getting them, yes. So what difference does it make when I do?
Because the difference is because before you make the deal with exception, we should have a right to understand what's going on. Complete.
Just going back to when we bought the Toyota truck, you had to go through council approval.
Yeah, when something was being purchased.
Even if somebody's gonna give us something.
Same thing.
Terry, you have a comment?
Yes, I do. I guess I've not seen exactly what's going on here because he was to be the fire chief. He's supposed to be running that and to make the decisions. He's his own entity. The fire,
No, it's
No,
not.
don't
It's the city of Mitchell.
don't correct me. The fire, his job is his own thing. He has the fire department, doesn't have the water thing, doesn't have. As far as I'm concerned, it's ran like that forever. And
Do
it
you
was,
think it's being run properly?
yes, I do.
Do you know everything that goes on with the fire department?
I
Are you
trust
aware?
him. I trust him. And if you can't trust the person you put in,
30 years.
Yeah,
30 years.
I mean, and that's sad.
Kathy,
I kind of view the fire department is not a city employee. I know they have to be responsible to the city, but also being offered these vehicles, if he has to wait for a council meeting,
We won't get them.
we won't get them, they'll be gone. You can't sit there and wait, oh, I got a council meeting in 3 weeks. I'll
Wait.
wait.
why can't you call a special meeting?
You can ask for a special meeting.
I didn't know that was the
When-
protocol.
Yeah,
huh?
I didn't know that was the protocol for me to have to call a special meeting.
If Excuse me? Was there a comment?
Alex, your comment?
Did you have a comment?
I have some things to say. I don't know.
It was time sensitive. Letting you go on the council long enough, you know that special meeting chemical.
Well, I also know that as long as I've been in the city of Mitchell, as long as I've been on the fire department, I've been on 24 years, that the chief has always ran the department. And the only time he ever had said anything about anything to the council was when it was asked of by the council. If the council asked him the question, then he'd answer to the council. Which is what I'm doing now.
So it's my belief that the mayor oversees all departments.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
It's not the treasurer, does it?
So again, okay, well, there's other things that are gonna be coming up that will probably help with one of the questions that are floating around out there. Alex,
Yes, it's, your opinion or your belief is wrong. It's the state fire marshal for all legalities, and it's the council for approval.
Okay.
And while I have before, it was brought up at city council. The county sheriff office last week and from both, all three times brought up in the council saying, correct.
but it was, I don't think it was required in the
That was the time.
correct fashion.
That was the time that motion. Everyone said, you got it.
Well, I'll just say this for myself. I advanced our fire department with equipment with 20 years newer than what we had. And if that's a bad thing, I'm sorry, but you know.
Nobody's denying the upgrade in equipment, it's just the way it was acquired. We're all appreciative of new equipment for free. You can't beat
Well,
that.
it just seems like, for some reason, everything goes along this fine and smooth when I'm acquiring all this stuff and doing all the trainings and stuff that we go to and what we do, and we respond to all the calls. But as soon as I'm a naysayer and something, all of a sudden I'm targeted. And I'm sorry, that's how I feel, Steve. I'm getting a little bit fed up about here with it.
Okay,
I run the fire department the best I can. I got 3 members on the fire department, counting myself. And I think we do a damn good job with one of the 3 today. I have implemented, I mean, I admit I was lacking when I first started about the maintenance program and stuff. And I'm on top of that now with these new vehicles. We have a maintenance program and we're doing training. And I'm keeping records like I'm supposed to do with all the trainings and all the stuff I'm supposed to keep. I do all my reports, so.
okay, well. We'll discuss the training and other things in our executive session. Kenneth,
Well, that's exactly what I was saying. I agree, I think it's anything that can improve, but it comes back down to the bottom line. If I'm personally responsible, you can't tell me that the fire chief overruns my personal responsibility, my knowledge of what's happening, what's coming and going, and what needs to be fixed, what's wrong with them, what the cost is, there's budgeting to the office that needs to be dealt with. When you brought these things up, you made a comment about it. It wasn't like a, hey, so there's a 1992 for whatever SUV that we can get, let's get it. If you said that, then I'm sorry, I don't remember that.
Alex.
I'll let Kathy go first. Council.
Okay, by saying this with the fire department, do we have to approve when we rent equipment for some repairs? That should be approved too then.
It's budgeted for.
And
The fire department has a budget too.
yeah,
Yeah, and you're almost exhausted your budget by your vehicles.
But like,
Alex,
yeah, so, councilors, this appears to be, based on historical evidence of what I've seen for the last 5 years, I've been backing it back. This appears to be 2 things. One, they both come down to the same thing. One, jealousy for one side, and the other side of it is kind of political retaliation for not passing the charter last week, but the first one.
Point of order,
Okay,
you're out of order. Sorry.
so we have to talk for 3 months now.
Okay, I'm gonna excuse you from the meeting. Thank you. You're non-compliant. So as most of us are aware, Kathy, I'm not sure if you were on council at the time, but Mike Carroll came in, was asking for help with the EMS system. At that time, we contacted OHA. Inadvertently, we're not supposed to contact OHA, we contacted our county emergency manager, who is Mitch. With that, we are on the radar with the state to be in compliance with our EMS system, which includes ambulance and fire. My concerns as the mayor, which council should be concerned about, is we are following state guidelines of acquiring vehicles, because state guidelines overrun our charter. We need to be in compliance with acquiring new vehicles. It's not that I don't like the free vehicles, it's great. We need to be in compliance to where if the state fire marshal contacts us, we have everything in order, saying, yes, we have all the documentation right here for these vehicles. So with that, I have nothing to lose either way. It's you guys sitting there, you four sitting there, that would have to pay the price of improper acquiring or anything to do with improper, basically improper acquiring vehicles. And I believe that's where Ken's concern is making sure that when vehicles are acquired, they're acquired in the right fashion. I feel that we should, as a council, be aware of vehicles that are on the radar, bring it to the council. Council has an idea of, what it is prior to receiving it. I guess I was wrong by saying that the mayor oversees all departments, but my concern is, which should be your concern. Again, I don't get in trouble for anything. I mean, I don't risk a fine by actions that are put upon the council. So, Glenn.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
We've had the trust now since May. Why is this now being an issue?
Because after our last work session meeting, I had to talk with you. And you said, I asked you, I said, during the executive session, the concerns about the paperwork not being turned in.
Yeah, and I turned the paperwork in.
Okay, I went up and I said, I have to verify that. I verified that. So
Thank you.
that is those two. Understandably, you gotta wait for.
We still have more that digitally.
Right. Okay, so that's gonna further bring into the executive session. Kathy.
Okay, is it written anywhere that this is a process that we have to go to acquire vehicles, to rent vehicles, whatever? Is this written anywhere?
Is
Yeah.
No, not any.
Right.
It's not, I've never seen any of the policies or procedures because I guess.
Excuse me, I copied it up for you and gave it to you.
Oh, maybe. I'm not being mistaken because I've never seen it. But anyway, up until this point, up until I turned those papers into this way, I think you gave me whatever you gave me. Before that, I hadn't seen any procedures or whatever. So maybe I guess I didn't realize that there was a procedure when I got these vehicles. So now that I know, then, I'm willing to comply with whatever needs to be done. I mean, I always have been, that.
right, and that's my concern again. And Kenneth brought the issue to me and I was like, you have the opportunity to ask all the questions you want. It's no retaliation for nothing like was stated.
I don't listen to.
I know, but it's kind of like, you're on a jury, don't listen to what was just said. It's still in the back of your mind. Again, I just want to make sure everybody on the council needs to make sure that things are being done Accordingly.
I know all the things that I do are in compliance with what I'm supposed to do.
Carol, you do that?
I'm on the council as well, so this is responsible.
Yes, there need to be maintenance records of the vehicles, or should be of the vehicle acquired. They have to be safe to drive, one. And there should be maintenance and other maintenance schedule or maintenance and repair that have been done to the truck that needs to be done to the truck or vehicle. That should also all be within requiring of the vehicle. You not run a vehicle that's unsafe to drive.
Chris,
On
you're
fire
already
department or
I just wanted to point out that we have a FOIA process, so if somebody comes and asks for, say, a training record, a certification or something, I have 10 days to turn it. in. If I don't have it, then we're not going to.
Fine.
Oh, the white truck we got from Golden Dale has all of the service records from the time it was brand new with it. I have all of the service records from it, the maintenance records from it, all the repair that's been done to it. It's completely, it's just passed, it's pump test, the whole 9 yards. The other truck I'm waiting for the next round of next time Frontier is here to have him look at the other one, but I took it over for the leak repair. Everything's runs great. There's no leaks nowhere. There's no
So-
chimney in it.
When's that other one that you're talking about? When's the last time that you know that's passed the safety inspection?
It passed the safety inspection. It was in service about a month and a half before. They took it out of service a month and a half before I got it because they got a new truck on the truck and there was that. So it was in service at that time and had passed all of the stuff.
You don't have records.
I don't have, they didn't give me no records. But I will, well, I guess I have to get an estimate. It's also when I look at it, right, this they come look at it.
That would be the proper, because it's not an emergency
Yeah.
repair.
Yeah,
Unlike the ambulance, that was actual emergency. Nothing.
Is that done when you bought the Toyota truck? Because I know you had a bunch of confidence right after you got it.
We knew about the problems prior to acquiring it.
we spent 5,000.
In which,
But yes, we were, the city was made aware of the issues with the truck prior to purchase. No, that's the past.
and I'm not trying to keep this horse alive, but that's part of my thing also is the cost of point like Kathy just brought up. It's like, they did this truck in the past, and ended up actually putting more money in it than the truck was even worth.
well, usually,
So-
I'm sorry, guys.
And so in case of these scenarios, like that sheriff room, I mean,
You know, they told me that they knew nothing about it when I got it. And I told them that, I know,
she talked.
they told me they knew nothing about that rig when I got it, but they said it's in 2009 and it came from the undersheriff of Crook County. And he said that it had all this maintenance taken care of, there was nothing wrong with it, that, you know, remember the use of it.
So if,
That's what Weaver County.
but the person who got it from didn't know nothing about it?
No, Weaver County Deputy Sheriff Nick Hillian said that he didn't know anything about the people other than what he was told by the undersheriff of Crook County.
By some fellow,
No, he was told by the undersheriff. of
some
Crook County.
fellow,
Yeah, some
that without paperwork.
Mhm.
So that means some fellow, no paperwork, that means absolutely, unfortunately, absolutely nothing. Well, it's like me telling me about my ribs in my yard.
I can tell you, Ken, that I've been around long enough to know, you know, Ken, I'm sorry. I've been around long enough and dealt with vehicles long enough to know that I'm not gonna take some piece of crap. It's gonna cost our city thousands of dollars to fix.
I think Kathy already.
Krista, can you please tell me which one of these humongous boulders the policy procedure there is? Hey, you said what?
What?
which one of these,
It's not in there.
how are we supposed to know? What policy procedure docs are not in here? They're not in any of this stuff.
I didn't find yours.
I know, I
As,
just,
as it comes along, if you would like it, you can come up with it. But as a, I mean.
Policy and procedure is not in your charter.
it's not-
or how are we supposed to know to follow?
But you're not a department. So it's for ambulance and fires, for contracting, it's for acquiring, how to acquire bids and things like that. I mean, you're welcome to have, I don't have an issue with that. I'm just saying that as a counselor, your work is designed to be.
So how does the council know that we're not following these policy and procedures? How would we know that if we don't have a copy?
You're welcome to.
I know that, but I want to know problems first. You're gonna have an executive session and we'll get somebody for not following policy and procedure that we don't know anything about.
Okay, it's plain and simple, you can request a copy of policy and
I know,
procedure.
but at this point.
At this point, it was stated by the clerk that it was given to the fire chief. The fire chief either misplaced it, doesn't have it. So moving forward, if you would like a copy of it, you're more than welcome to request a copy of it.
I request, you email me.
It would have to be scanned and everything, so.
Okay, either that or. I don't know when you have to.
I'll get a way to.
Right.
Can I add that I didn't know about the policy and procedures up until the day that she handed it to me when I brought the paperwork to the clerk. And I didn't have no idea policies and procedures for acquiring vehicles or anything else.
I exceeded it.
Well, I guess I didn't hear it, I guess.
That's, okay.
I'm just saying, I didn't see a copy of it, and I didn't physically know there was this policy and procedure about getting vehicles or,
I need to have that conversation about, like.
forget about disposing vehicles.
Okay, so. I guess the bottom line is. I would like to possibly have a motion or a motion about the newly acquired vehicle, but it does not. It needs to be safety tested, I do believe, upon receiving records for. The one from Duper, you said? Doesn't have any records.
Yeah, this one don't have any records. The other one has all the records and everything safety tested, and I know it has had a pump test and all that stuff.
I think we need to double check, make sure that they both are
Well, they're
safety tested.
it's a safe as that red one was. I mean, the red one was never, I mean, evidently there was a process, how long the process been effective procedures? Because that red truck was never done anything with as long as Castleberry was chief and,
That's,
all right. Well, I'm just
so
saying,
again, we can't change what happened in the past. All we can do is make sure that moving forward, while we're all in our positions, we're doing everything we can to follow guidelines, state guidelines, our own implemented guidelines. You know, it's just not run amok anymore. It's accountability for actions within your department. Fine.
I don't expect it to be running like it used to be back in the 1800s and 1900s. But same time, I mean, if somebody doesn't know about something and you do, then wouldn't it be your responsibility as mayor to bring that up to somebody and say, do you know this?
Obviously, I'm not in control of the fire department, so I have no control over what you do.
All right.
So if you have any questions, I suggest you ask the city clerk. If she has time to research your questions, she would be able to supply you with the information you would need.
Okay.
She actually had the hand up first.
Christie?
Would you guys like a resolution to, all of these vehicles, and then going forward, if there is something, vehicles, large equipment, things like that, would you like a resolution for those things?
I believe the reason why the clerk is asking that question is because right now, we would like the red truck. we don't have a resolution. If we want to know how it's required, we gotta come through 30 years of minutes.
Exactly.
So in hindsight, she has a very good point of, yeah, but you can thumb right to it.
Mm.
You can say, oh, the red truck was acquired August 1st, 1942.
Yeah.
I think it's time we can do something with it.
That's a good idea.
So,
Now that I know that there's a procedure and everything else, I'm happy to follow.
yeah,
So something just like, because like I said, it's just concerns because of the person's responsibilities.
Yeah.
As yourself too. So maybe this is something, would you think that this is where you could, maybe you should contact your boss, the state fire chief, or
State fire marshal.
state fire marshal, and ask him for policies, procedures that, since you guys are complete, like, different identity then, or something to.
Well, we have
So-
department SOPs.
No, I mean, so you know, so you know.
And then there's nothing in there that says anything about acquiring vehicles or anything like that.
Well, my.
That's how we operate and how we do things, what the rules are.
Okay, but my concern is that if I'm confused about the council not having the fire department being their own identity, but I'm personally responsible. That's not gonna work for me.
Well, no, I don't, I think the council isn't, is oversees the fire department. Council does.
Well, then I'm confused,
But I'm
because I
talking-
thought you just said.
No, I didn't say anything like that.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood.
She said that.
Oh, okay.
I believe it was said the mayor has. no-
Yeah, the mayor has no.
Okay, but the council does.
Yeah.
So that's just my biggest thing.
Yeah, and I'll make sure,
I'm all.
I'll make sure that I go through all the rules and regulations, and I'm doing stuff right. I'm not gonna leave you hanging.
Kathy,
You have to go through the state fire marshal, or you have to go through the county EMS. The county of state was waiting
Do what?
for this information. No.
Well, the information, I think he's talking about it, was when he thought that the council didn't have any say over what I did. But
Yeah,
the
but he
council
asked you,
does.
he just asked you to
If I need.
contact the state fire marshal. I'm questioning if you need to contact the state fire.
No, I
marshal.
don't need to contact either one. I need to go and make sure that all of the rules that the city has for me to acquire vehicles are being followed.
Chris,
And the city council oversees any of that, so.
So am I understanding this right? If anybody wants to acquire something, it is ask for council approval down the agenda, ask for council approval. If everybody's like, yeah, that sounds great, then we'll sign a resolution at the next meeting, and that way we're all on the same page. And then if there's some sort of work that needs to be done, there's a quote.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, well, that's a good idea. That's all good ideas, but you can trust that if I. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
I just want to make sure that we have the line in order, so I have my ducks in a row. So if there's work that needs to be done, even if you guys are aware of it, you're like, yes, I know that $5,000 needs to be spent, and you approve that, you can still sign off on it, and you know where it's going, this is what it's gonna cost. So that it is a presentation of sort that you're bringing to the council, like, I wanna get this vehicle, here's like what I know about it, here's how much it's gonna cost to fix it. And the insurance is about this much, what do you guys think, is that what I'm gathering?
I think that would,
It's got a little time.
The only thing that I would have to add to that.
you know, Terry had her hand up first.
Yeah, we could keep arguing over this and beating him with a hammer, but I think we need to do a resolution. I think we need to solve it now and figure out what to do, and if that's a good start with the resolution. No more, you know.
Going,
I think her idea of the resolution is a good idea. The only thing the only thing is, and sometimes when you get a piece of equipment like that, we're trying to be acquiring any more fire trucks other than we might get exchanged the tenders up there for a different tender. But we may get rid of the 6x and which is step, by the way, it doesn't belong to the city, it belongs to Federal Access Property. And that's how we'll get another way, that's through the same program. But I'm not gonna get anything to piece of junk and I have to put money in, there's no reason for that. There's plenty of
I
reasons
mean,
out there.
unfortunately, a lot of times you get a vehicle and they just want to dump it, they'll say, oh, there's no problem.
I know.
So, I mean,
And I found that out with the yellow one, that there's nothing wrong with it other than the fact that they took all the caps off it, so water would come out the valves. Because they have a little bit, they seep a little bit, but if you have caps on, they don't leak at all.
did anybody, Krista?
We still provide insurance for this other vehicle that you're talking about.
The thick line,
Whichever one you're exchanging out.
the tender, yeah, they're still on that.
I thought you,
Well, wait a minute, no, I think you took it off.
you
I
did,
know, you said you were gonna exchange one for another.
Yeah, that's that white one. Remember when you turned thinking that there- we talked about it?
Yeah, I just wanna make sure because, I mean, you're already almost maxed out at your insurance budget and you don't have any.
So we look what you use it for.
but the white one's not on insurance,
No.
right?
No, not right now.
Carol?
Has that black rig been an accident?
Actually, I think that the door got sprung on is what happened. They left work and somebody pushed too hard on it and hit it with their vehicle or something.
Or that? Is it, what is the title claim, or is it?
I don't know, and I haven't seen the title. The county has. The county's in the process of getting it. And I have, I mean, I can send it back anytime if the council still desires, you can send it back. It's not a big deal.
You know how many miles are on it?
Yeah, 170,000.
I think, I don't know how the council wants to proceed with it, but definitely need to make sure it's in good running order prior to making any further decisions on,
Before keeping it?
yeah, before keeping it. I mean, again, if it's gonna cost X amount of dollars, you gotta look at, you know, it's gonna pencil out saving on your fuel and everything else. Kathy?
Yeah, as long as the door closes, there's not a leak yet, I don't see it being a major issue.
The door opens and closes.
If it's not watertight,
Oh, it's water. I think it is.
okay,
I
but
don't
we
know.
don't know. Until it's not gonna be. I don't think it should be in service until paperwork's acquired, of course, and passing safety
That
inspection.
won't be in service until I call after this.
We could say down the highway, though, slow traffic down. I don't know who had their hand up first.
Go ahead, Krista.
Just real quick, so the gate that's in there, how does that work safety wise? Do you have other, like, north and?
What do you mean gate? You mean that gate?
The
That's
cage,
alcohol gonna come out.
and then the locking of the doors, if you were in an accident, you know, the doors locking that.
I'm not sure how. We haven't done anything to it, so I think we're having to really look at that, what needs to be, what we're gonna be doing to it to make it sure that you can get out from the inside. This is a cop car. That's what it was.
I know.
And my experience is, once you're in the back, you can't get out. I've seen a lot of shows.
There's no door
Yeah, there's no door handle on the inside, so that's a cop car. They're gonna have to open from the outside,
handle. Is
so
that not a safety issue for you?
it will be right now, but once we get to doing something with it, we'll take the inside door and put the door handle. I think the door handle might be underneath that.
This. It's like, damn, right here, this is where we're back to all these things that.
I haven't done anything, I haven't spent any money on it.
I know that's
I'm not
just where it's like,
Not approval.
there's something that maybe it could be workable, but yeah, that's like, before it even comes on our property. Is my point, it's not even, it's like, before it comes here, that's like, oh, that's a lot of
No,
money.
we were kind of caught off guard about when we come get it.
But that,
I know,
not
I know.
like me or
I know.
Terry or Kathy or. yeah.
I know.
Terry,
You're not certified. I'm sorry. Are you
Was I gonna
certified?
say that?
Well, you keep saying you trust him.
I trust him as the fire chief,
But
and
he-
don't
but he's
step
certified,
on me.
I'm not.
He might be.
It's-
You might be able to get
No,
hold of
no.
somebody that can,
I
are
was
you?
different for a while and.
For God's sake,
Okay, point of
you
order.
guys, enough.
So Krista,
Yes.
Mike, you wanna repeat the resolution you suggest that we make? Because I thought that resolution was to pass the currently acquired vehicles as they are. And then,
Well, the
Anything.
process of, so one, the council has not approved to take on the 2 vehicles that we already have. We'd like to make a motion to accept those vehicles, then I'll make a resolution for those vehicles. And it sounds like everybody's wanting to maybe wait and hear back on more information on the black one before we do another one. So, for those 2 fire trucks we already have and for disposal. The other one,
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the trucks, the fire trucks. that we did. And then I will have a second motion.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Kenneth, seconded by Kathy to approve the acquiring of a truck from Goldendale and a truck from Goodyear.
No, he said vehicles.
No, I did not.
That's right.
The 2 fire trucks, which are one from Goldendale, one from Gifford. Okay.
I'd also like to make the motion that we do not until anything's put into that rig, that we definitely get an estimate somehow, some way of what needs to make that SUV functional for your needs.
Okay.
And then from that point, decide if it's worth us keeping it or removing.
Okay, so we'll work on the first motion that was made by Kenneth, seconded by Kathy about approval of the 2 vehicles,
Fire truck.
the 2 fire trucks acquired from Goldendale, one from Goldendale, one from Gifford. Any further discussion? Kenneth, let's start us off with the vote, please.
Kenneth Ferguson, aye.
Teresa Riley, aye.
Okay.
You're right.
Motion passed, 4 ayes, 1 absent, 1 open seat. That the council approved acquiring, no. Chris,
All right. Was there 4 ayes? You're voting?
Well, I don't know.
no,
I'm just asking.
I mean, it affects your department directly, so. Okay, so motion made by Kenneth, seconded by Kathy.
I'll go ahead.
No further discussion. We will put the motion back to a vote. Kenneth?
Kenneth Ferguson, aye.
Teresa Riley, aye.
I think.
One abstain. 3 ayes, 1 abstain, 1 absent, 1 open seat to approve acquiring of the 2 fire trucks, one from Goldendale, one from Beaufort. So with that, the clerk will write up a resolution. So it's a quick reference basically of where we can see where the vehicles, how we got the vehicles, where we got them, things like that. Chris,
I know you have a motion on the table. I just want to point out that if when you're done having disposed of the whole one.
the red one, the structure.
Like,
Did you get anything?
I'm waiting for Alan Kennedy. They're working field, whatever he's doing over there. I've tried to get hold of him. I haven't been able to get anything back from him. But I have everything written up. I need to get a signature probably from somebody here too as well, so. I think it's probably you, Robin. You already-
I don't know. That opens up a whole nother can of worms, I guess. And
Well,
really,
it says in the charter that the mayor signs all contracts and. If we're gonna do it right, we have to do it right.
I'm just,
oh, okay. So the next thing up is, I believe, how we're gonna, we don't really need a motion on how we're gonna move forward because it's not even been, we haven't acquired no paperwork on it. But it just, so there's acknowledgement that before anything happens with that new rig, whatever needs to be brought to account for acceptance, we say that, because you may find out that it's got a bad valve or whatever.
Yeah. We have something.
So-
we have a motion on the table.
For,
And then made a motion to wait until we got an estimate and not to accept the black vehicle.
oh, okay, sorry. So there is a motion on the table, not to accept the black Ford Explorer expedition until paperwork and safety check is and estimate is.
If it needs anything, yeah.
So Ken's made the motion. No second? So basically, we can't do anything with the black truck, so. It's just gonna sit, Glenn,
I'll second it.
you can,
Oh, I can't. Oh.
Dang it,
Kathy,
I'll second it.
motion made by Ken, seconded by Kathy, any further discussion? No further discussion, Terry,
Aye.
Kathy,
Hasn't worked out.
Here first and I.
motion passed, thank you, Glenn. Motion passed, 3 ayes, 1 abstain, 1 absent, 1 open, that no further happenings with the black rig until we get paperwork, safety check and estimates. Kathy,
Oh, this is gonna be fun. I want to make a motion to acquire approval for the attainment of vehicles and equipment used or bought by the city and city entities such as the fire department, even if it results in a special meeting due to a need to quickly get hold of vehicles.
I'm not
I don't
understanding.
understand your motion.
Okay,
We already have a motion that it needs to be brought to council in the policy and procedures.
okay, the policy and procedures include vehicles, equipment used and bought,
All acquiring of vehicles is
even rentals.
even like,
Used meaning rentals.
what do you mean rental?
If you
Like,
if you rent a piece of equipment from somebody to do city work,
Mhm.
that needs to be approved ahead of time.
Right.
That's what I'm putting my motion in for.
it's budgeted for.
I still think it's part of the budget, but I think it's not still needs improvement. It's an expense.
But the expense has been budgeted for and approved by council already. So that'd be like having a meeting to approve of something that's already been approved. That's double approving, which to me just would be a waste of time, seriously.
Okay.
We should not have to have motions or special meetings to spend money that's already been approved by the budget to spend. Krista,
So we kind of had this conversation a little ways back about, when we go to pay bills, all of those things are in there. But some of the things you can't wait to pay for. So if we had to wait to have a special meeting to pump the toilets, that could have resulted in a big problem. So there are some things that you can't have a meeting for, but there is money, like you're saying, in the budget to do that. And that's why the work sessions and your strategic planning is really important, so that you have a plan to implement and everybody is aware. Yes, you're gonna go up to the things and work on it, and which includes renting a mini or hiring, a bigger piece of equipment to do whatever kind of work it is that you're needing. And then it comes to the council for approval of the bills. Now, if you want to challenge one of those bills, you're welcome to do that. But some of the things are just a formality. So like you can't not pay soon. And if there's employment law, you have to pay somebody for the work that they do. So if it comes to like specific types of work that's already budgeted for, that's, I guess what I'm saying is that some things are emergency, not all things. If you know that something is coming up, that's why the report, so we can say, hey, are we planning on using, a piece of equipment? And you can, if it's something, a large purchase, you can make the motion to approve it right there or not. But I would strongly recommend that before doing that, look at what it is that we're doing.
so basically what's budgeted for is already spent. So
and these vehicles were not in the,
And Terry had a hand up first.
My question is on those like renting the excavator and stuff. What if something happens to it? Are we responsible to, if it breaks down?
It's insurance.
Should be a good enough thing to do it, though.
Kathy,
so these acquired fire trucks, vehicles are not in the fire department's budget.
they what?
You paying me for
They,
it? See,
they're not in the budget.
No, they're not, there's no money for them, no money spent for them.
Except the insurance.
Except for
Do
insurance.
you know how much you pay on yearly insurance for your two?
I don't, but but at the same time, there was vehicles that we had before this one insurance that didn't work out for us, so we got rid of them, so we're replacing the.
Well, basically, right now, you're at 3,500 a year for what's insured right now
For the fire department.
for the fire department. That's not the newly acquired vehicle.
And there is about 2,500 for the vehicles we currently have, will be around another, for 2,600, will be about another 700 or more for the Suburban. or whatever it is.
Maybe I'll send that back.
Expedition.
Expedition.
It all depends. I mean,
And then that's why my question, if you're gonna do the tender, I mean, you're already maxed out and you don't have any income, so we're excluding the fire department.
All right.
so I mean, if you feel that vehicle would save your department enough money to cover the insurance, then I don't see why not. I mean, it's kind of like, you gotta figure what's best for your department. It will be left up to you to make your decision on how you want to proceed with that. But I mean, if you like, the clerk could get your actual quote for insuring that vehicle. And then once you receive everything else, if it's, something else needs to be done, then you kind of crunch numbers and see where it's at. So, any other questions, comments to?
Happy as a motion to table to obtain vehicles for equipment, and then, it's a special meeting.
I mean, you're all that.
Yeah.
Is there a way you can condense a little bit shorter so when it comes to documenting it, it's more concise?
To make a motion to acquire approval for the attainment of vehicles and equipment bought or and used by the city or city entities, even if it results in a special meeting.
I second that.
Terry,
I didn't second that.
motion made by Kathy, seconded by Terry for motion made by Kathy for
Repeat that.
acquiring vehicles via council approval.
To acquire approval for the attainment of vehicles and equipment used by the city and city entities, even if it results in a special meeting.
So if I acquire a vehicle, I have to get permission.
If it's a city vehicle
Well, you said,
used by the city,
you said an entity.
entity being like the fire department, ambulance.
Clerk's office.
Yeah, if you want one, get to the clerk's office, yeah.
Might be the helicopter, you never know.
Okay, what I would suggest, by overseeing the council, if we could table that motion before you read the policy and procedure. Because it might shed a little more light on a good portion of your motion. I'm pretty sure Glenn's aware that if we need a special meeting, if something's time sensitive, if you don't know, if it's time sensitive, what time frame do we have for special meeting? 48 hours?
24 for emergency and the same.
for a special meeting, so 24 hours for an emergency meeting,
It
like
has to be a true emergency.
a true emergency, a water line catastrophe, whatever, let's hope it doesn't happen. And then what, 72 hours or 4 days for a special meeting.
And you can't have executive session for an emergency.
So that way everybody's clear on procedurals for meetings.
And cannot have one.
Executive session for an emergency meeting.
That'll work out meeting, if it's like, if we didn't have any fire, if something happened with fire, and we needed them tomorrow. Or next week, and somebody offered me one tomorrow, I could claim it from them, and then have the meeting, and then tell them, yeah, I want it, and then I'll take it, and then go have the meeting, and if the council says, no, I'm sorry, but I don't think that's a good idea, then I'll call them, well, we had to change the plans, but at least I had to put it on hold for.
You lock it up,
Yeah.
and that's
As
great.
long as I know I can have a special meeting, that's great.
You can have special meetings, you can change things on the agenda.
Too late now, you're approving the agenda.
Well, change on the agenda, that's supposed to be what, 24 hours in advance?
Right, when we go down the list and it says changes to the agenda, and special meeting we would like to add to it, you,
Great.
motion to add something to it.
So,
And
That's why,
I thought you told me you had to be in advance.
not changes to the agenda, and then that's why you also have approval of the agenda, so that everybody agrees.
okay, anything further on city vehicles? Kathy, I'm sorry, you have a motion on the table. You want to table that motion until
I'll
you
table it until.
go through the policy and procedure? Okay, thank you. I'm pretty sure that will answer a lot of your questions.
Oh, see, we don't have a copy of that, so.
Well, I know, but that's been discussed, so we don't need to keep discussing it. Okay, so now we're going to enter into an executive session.
ORS 192.660 and 2
I don't have it in front of me, but thank you. So at this time, Sue, we're in executive session. I'm not going to ask you to leave. You're more than willing to come back.
Hey, the community all looks good, thank you so much.
Yes.
Yes.
It looks great.
Thank you for everything you've done, Sue. And just a FYI, if anybody has not seen Sue working, she's doing an excellent job. She's running that weed here. Not quite as good as Carol, but there is a little room for
I knew
improvement.
she'd do a good job.
She cleaned in here. It smelled like some nasty stuff, but okay, first and foremost on the executive session was, I talked to Glenn about going into executive session to discuss what I thought.
It's an executive session being recorded.